علمي من الرحمن ذي الآلاء بالله حزت الفضل لا بدهائي كيف الوصول إلى مدارج شكره نثني عليه وليس حول ثنائي
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. Dear viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You are most welcome to this noble program called The Philosophy of the Teachings of Islam. The book which was written by the promised Messiah and Mahdi of the age, Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad alayhi salatu wasalam. And we know very well that in this meeting, the organizers required that every religion should come up with their teachings concerning these 5 questions as discussed in this book. And today, in our discussion, I'm not alone. I have come with my Sheikh Zaki Sahib. Please, can you give salam to our viewers?
Our respected viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh Sahib, we were dealing with the moral qualities, and we saw that in these moral qualities, as discussed by the promised Messiah alayhi salatu wasalam, he said that there are 2 ways of these moral qualities, and that the very first one is that such qualities that enables man to discard from evil, to restrain from evil. And another one was that those moral qualities that enables man to do good. So before we go any further, I would like us to pick from there. You elaborate more on that before we continue.
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. As we saw in the previous episodes, that the promised Messiah alayhi salam, what he truly said, that there are 2 kinds of morals. One of them, as you've already read out, are such moral qualities which helps man to discard evil. But this won't make man perfect. This won't make man to be praised, to be worthy of merit, simply because he is not harming anyone, or he is able to shun evil. But what will make him better, a human being, will be taking a step ahead. And that is where the second type of moral qualities comes in. And those are the moral qualities which helps man to do good, which gives man that ability to do good to others. It is like somebody who washes a plate. You need to put food on that plate, and then you'll be able to eat. Otherwise, it is true that the plate is clean, no germs, and it also pleases you and pleases another person who sees it. Yes, but still, you will not be satisfied.
Because there is no food.
There's no food for you to eat. So you need to put food to eat, then you will gain from your action of washing the plate. So the mere action of washing the plate is like somebody who has the ability to shun evil. And then putting food
on the
plate so that you can eat that food is the action is like the action of that person who has taken an extra mile of doing good to others. So that's why the promised Messiah alayhi salam categorized those moral qualities into 2 in this book, Philosophy of the Teachings of Islam.
So in that way, your mere washing the plate does not make you overcome anger.
Yes. No, you cannot overcome
first
anger.
get the food.
Maybe it will even make you more hungry.
Satisfied.
Because with nature, if you wash the plate, we know what is next. It will make you more hungry.
Okay, Sheikh Sahib, Jazakallah ahsana jaza. I would like our viewers to know the teachings of the Holy Quran that gives, that it has given so that one should be saved from adultery.
Holy Quran, actually, as you see it, a book and perfect in nature, and the very last one. So the decision of the divine was that it should comprise within itself all teachings that man needed. So it is different from other books, whereby other books can point out a problem, a vice, and maybe sometimes do not give man how to overtake that
how it
evil.
can be dealt with.
How it can be dealt
the
with.
injunctions.
Yes,
Okay.
but the Holy Quran, or even instruct you to stop that evil. But the Holy Quran goes a step ahead of that. It even tells you how you
To stop
can
it.
overcome that evil,
Okay.
how you can stop it. So that is one unique feature of the Holy Quran.
Yes.
Now, the Holy Quran, if we critically read it, it tells us that one should, in the words of the promised Messiah, alayhi salam, he writes and says that one should avoid all occasions that may incite one's mind in that direction, in the direction of adultery, and should eschew all the paths that might lead him to this vice. He who indulges in this vice carries his viciousness to the extreme. Now, if you see what the Prophet is telling us, that the Holy Quran teaches us that we should actually avoid all occasions that may incite one to that direction. This is what we learn from the Holy Quran. And these teachings, if you critically read the Holy Quran, you will find these teachings at many places. That the Holy Quran says, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا, and do not go near to zina. Do not try to trend that path towards adultery.
In other words, it does not stop you only from going to that act, but even the acts before
Yes.
that may lead you to to go into that act itself.
Yeah, that's why Allah the Almighty did not say, La tazinu, do not commit adultery. No. Here he's telling us, don't go near zina. Don't go near adultery.
Lead you
so
there.
Here we are instructed that every act which will incite you towards that evil act should be shunned. And then the second one, the promised Messiah alayhi salam says, before that, the promised Messiah alayhi salam says that the way of adultery is an evil way, as it obstructs one's progress towards the goal and is extremely harmful to the achievement of the purpose of life. So the promised Messiah alayhi salam is telling us that the reason why adultery was prevented by the Holy Quran. And you can really see that somebody who is more inclined
on that evil,
towards this evil, he is actually going far away from religious sides. You can see the European countries who don't have any rules.
they have gone far.
They have gone far. So God Almighty is taking a step ahead to tell you not to go near adultery, not even to trend that path, not even thinking about the path that will lead you to adultery, so that you can safeguard yourself from going astray. And then the promised Messiah alayhi salam says that those who find no means of marriage should keep themselves chaste through adoption of other means.
So those people who are not yet ready to getting married, they should get other
means. This is what the Holy Quran says, what the Prophet Messiah alayhi salam is explaining here, that وَلْيَسْتَعْفِفِ الَّذِينَ لَا يَجِدُونَ نِكَاحًا حَتَّى يُغْنِيَهُمُ اللَّهُ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ. That those people who do not have the capacity, the means to get married, because marriage is a responsibility that you are taking on. You are taking on somebody's daughter, or the daughter is going to be married to you, and then the following will be procreation, will be giving birth. So those are responsibilities. So
which
God,
you have to fulfill.
yes, which you have to fulfill mentally and physically. So you have to be very ready.
So in other words, those who cannot get into marriage, What are the things that the Holy Quran has told them to do?
Yes, the Promised Messiah alayhi salam, as explained in the book, The Philosophy of the Teachings of Islam, says, for instance, through fasting, or dieting, or exercise. Now, these are the things, the most critical time we have is what we call free time. When man is free,
he can do anything.
He can do anything.
He can think of anything.
He can think of anything. And the hadith of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam also directed that to this route of fasting. That fasting will cool your desires, your ego. It will cool them down. And then dieting and exercise, these are things that will take over that free time you have, and it will make you busy.
Your mind will be even sharper.
Your mind will be even sharper, thinking of things that will benefit you, other than those things that will even ruin your spirituality. Okay. So these are some of the means that the Promised Messiah alayhi salam told us. But it is also important to know that before one gets married, you also have to be...
Because it's a process also.
It's a process.
You have to look for a girl
to marry. So that's why the Promised Messiah...
which needs qualities. So as you're looking for such qualities, you may find yourself...
The Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that tunkahul malu ala al-arba, that the wife or the girl is married because of four qualities. Things, so if you are looking for all beauty, those for beauty, you are looking for religion, you are looking for family background, you know, these are all things that we look at when we are going to get married. But the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told you that fadfal bidhat din, you have to go for the one who is religious. Otherwise, tarbat yadak. You will be always in read. The beauty can go away anytime. Wealth comes and goes. But religion, if someone is serious, it only increases. So if you are still in search, this is what you should do. Exactly. If you still have no wealth, or you have no any capacity,
to enter into marriage.
Yeah, for you to enter into marriage.
Keep yourself in fasting.
You should keep yourself fasting.
Keep yourself in exercises.
Yourself in exercise. Such things will make you busy, and you will be prevented from falling prey to this
Jazakumullah sana jaza Sheikh Saib. We have seen that in today, for instance, we have seen many youth, as you have just explained. We know very well that someone may need to get married, but he doesn't have that capacity. And you have explained very well that someone should take the advice of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, such as fasting, such as doing exercises.
Yes, please.
But still today we see that a number of youth, they do not want even to get involved in kinds of marriages. And this brings us to the question of celibacy. Has the Holy Quran taught about that?
If you talk about today's youth, it is another thing. Because even in our society, you know, this open society, people are not going into wedlock simply because they are too much into adultery. The vice has taken everything away.
It has been exposed.
It has been exposed. So that's why, not that people do not have means of getting married. A person was telling me that the other day that actually alcoholism is more expensive than being a normal, like a Muslims who do not take alcohol, because you have to spend a lot of money. You take water and some juice, but for us we take that and add on alcohol. So using this, you see that adultery will be even more expensive than marriage. You know, here you have somebody at home who has that pain and sympathy for you that you won't let you spend anyhow.
That even when you go out in the morning, you think of providing for them.
Yeah, you think of
Only.
providing for them, and that one will also tell us how much you should spend to them. But you going outside with anybody today, somebody tomorrow, that is more expensive. But that is not celibacy. That's not celibacy. Celibacy is where you find people vowing to God not at all to get involved in marriage or adultery or any form of conjugal relationship with an opposite sex.
That is the celibacy.
That is celibacy we are talking about. Today what is happening is indecency.
And it has gone on high.
It has gone on another level. So if we talk about celibacy, why the Holy Quran has not enjoined celibacy on us, first and foremost, we should know that human race has survived up to date because of procreation.
It has come from far.
From far up to now because of procreation.
And it is still continuing.
If we say, God forbid, that God told people to be nuns and those people who do not marry and monks, maybe celibates, you will see that human race would have ended some long time ago.
We wouldn't have even existed today.
Yes, we wouldn't even have existed today. So that is why the Holy Quran says, وَرَهَبَانِيَّةً ابْتَدَعُوهَا. Celibacy and monasticism, which they have started, ابتدعوها, themselves started, مَا كَتَبْنَاهَا عَلَيْهِمْ. We did not prescribe it for them.
No celibacy.
No celibacy
is allowed in
God
Islam.
did not tell you that. God goes ahead and says that إِلَّا ابْتِغَاءَ رِضْوَانِ اللَّهِ فَمَا رَعَوْهَا حَقَّ رِعَايَتِهَا. And even when they prescribed it upon themselves, they did not observe it like they should. You can even see scandals now in those people who claim to be celibates. A lot of scandals here and there. Yes. So God did not tell us that we should be observe this celibacy, but He told us that although we have that quality, that nature, we should be able to control it and exercise it at its proper time.
Okay.
And that's when human being becomes a human. Without that, you are just like an animal.
Nothing else.
Nothing else. Everything should be systematic. The Promised Messiah, alayhi salam, on this point says the following. This is an indication that if celibacy and monasticism had been imposed by the divine, everyone would have had to adopt this discipline. He says, in which case the human race would have come to an end long time. Also, if chastity has to be preserved through castration, he says, or any other device, it would amount to criticism of the divine who has bestowed this capacity upon man. For example, if we say that for me, in order not to indulge in adultery, let me castrate myself, then you are opposing the divine.
The divine nature.
Yes. So for example, where all men in Uganda are castrated, it will amount to the same thing, that human race,
it will be coming to an end.
It will cease to exist.
Meaning this one, even we see some people, they do such an act to animals.
Yes.
You are putting an end to
the rest of that animal. And even here we see that when we were explaining the difference between natural and moral qualities, yes, is that in the natural or the physical state, man does things like animals.
Without thinking,
without any system.
What effect will
Yes, without putting reason. But when man directs his actions with reason and understanding, then you cease to be an animal, you cease to live that savage life, and you become a human being.
Because you know what you do.
Yes, take for example the marriage. The animals do the same act, the conjugal relationship, yes. But it can do it anywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
And you won't blame that animal, will you?
No.
Find a dog outside and you blame it?
No.
You can't, because it is an animal.
It doesn't know.
But what makes
All
you
what it
different?
wants is to fulfill
Yes,
its desires.
of course, to fulfill its desires. And that is the first stage, that man, whenever he has a desire, he fulfills it. But when we come to the extent that man controls his passion and acts according to the system, because man is a social animal, if he controls his passions and then employs reason to whatever he's doing, does things at the right time, then you cease to be an animal and you become a social human being.
Thank you very much, Sheikh Saib. Dear viewers, we are dealing with the book, The Philosophy of the Teachings of Islam. And in this book, we discuss these very 5 questions that was put before different religions to come and discuss their views concerning these questions, and everyone was required to come and discuss according to their scriptures. Yes, Sheikh Saib, you have taught us, according to the Holy Quran, as explained by the Promised Messiah, that celibacy is not prescribed for this human race.
Not at all.
As well as, of course, castration.
Yes.
In this very regard, I would like us to know, our viewer to know, what are those things that the Holy Quran has put down for us to come out of this?
This is what I was saying before.
To overcome our passion, actually.
Yes, that the Holy Quran does not only mention the problem, but also provide the remedy to that, and also tells you how to benefit from that remedy. Not there is someone who tells you that water is good, drink water, but he did not explain to you the benefits of that water, the benefits of you taking the trouble to drink clean water. Because if you say drink water, you can drink any kind of water.
Yeah, of course, even the one which you
of
find
course.
Stagnant
but
there.
So the Holy Quran takes that trouble to go ahead. Now, we've been explaining that you to benefit or to become a moral person or to gain those high moral quality, you should have the ability to exercise something. And then you control it. If you have that ability of exercising something and you are able to control it, that's when you will enter in the stage of people who are having higher moral quality. Then the Promised Messiah alayhi salam says that this is a stage where the divine praises you.
At that very time.
At that very time. Now here we are seeing that somebody who has castrated himself does not have anything to do with that.
Well,
maybe someone who is blind and you say, this one does not look at ladies.
With such lustful
with just lustful eyes,
desires,
you know, that will be that will not be human, because naturally he doesn't. That's why the Promised Messiah says that not practicing zina, adultery, or not being celibate, not practicing celibacy, and not castrating yourself. They are
in other words, you should be normal.
You should be normal. You should have all this power, all the qualities to exercise something. You have the qualities,
you have the capacity, you have the capability to do.
Yes, but if you take a step to control them, then we praise you.
You have now come from that stage of being an animal, and now you are
a human being.
Now
you can climb the stages and become a person with higher moral qualities. That's why God said, "Wala uqsim binafsil lawama." I call to witness that reproving self, the soul that reproves itself, and that is the second stage which we are discussing now. It is not yet perfect, because the Promised Messiah says sometimes it falls down, just like a baby who is who is just learning how to.
In other words, there is that heart which will always call you to go back.
Of course.
That you
Now, if we talk about the teachings of the Holy Quran that has given man to control his passion, every creature has passion, has those passions, but
in its nature.
So that is a natural state. That you have the passion, I have it. Even an animal has those passions. But these very passions, when it becomes, or when we get an occasion or opportunity to indulge in evil, they are aroused. That is natural.
They rise.
Yes, they rise.
Now it depends on you how you use them.
Yes, it depends on you how you...
In a good manner or a bad
in
way.
a bad way or
so
a
that
good
it
way.
becomes evil.
Of course.
You do it in a good
In a
way,
good
it
way,
becomes
then...
a good act.
Yeah. Therefore, God has not instructed us to freely gaze to women outside the prohibited degrees and might contemplate their beauty and observe all their movements in dancing, etc. God Almighty in the Holy Quran, you know, there are some other books where we are told not to gaze at
women,
people of opposite sex with lust. But the Promised Messiah ﷺ is telling us God went ahead, because that case may be what you are doing, it is with a pure nature.
But in one way or the other,
it can change
of course.
Your mind. But what God told us in the Holy Quran is not to gaze at them, whether it is with good intent or not.
Or not, because it can change at any time.
Yes, man is weak.
What a beautiful teaching.
So these are the teachings that will control your passion. The Promised Messiah ﷺ, reading from his own writing, he says in the book The Philosophy
as we conclude,
of the the philosophy of the teachings of Islam, he says, we have been positively commanded not to look at their beauty, whether with pure intent or otherwise. He says, nor to listen to their musical voices or to descriptions of their good looks, whether with pure intent or otherwise. We have been directed to eschew all this as we eschew carrion, so that we don't tremble. You know, as I may end at this, the Holy Quran tells you to lower down your gaze, because most evil are caused by the eye.
After looking at it,
you look at
then
my...
you contemplate.
Yes, you look at my phone,
and
you like it, that's when you will steal it.
After realizing it is good for me.
Yes, maybe you can even take it, you can even steal it and go with it home, only to reach there it does not work. It has problems. But it is the eye that sees.
It started with the eyes.
Then the heart admires, and then the passions overtakes you. So the Holy Quran is preventing us from all this with only one thing: lower your gaze. Don't even do whatever he was telling us, listening to their voices, because this will make you think about the lady you are listening to, looking at their dancing movements, all this.
Thank you very much, Sheikh Saib, for that wonderful explanation from this very book. As explained by the Promised Messiah, ﷺ, we've been dealing with the moral qualities, and I believe you have heard yourself. The time is always not on our side. It is our perfect enemy. We know that very well. So until our next episode, I remain Nuruddin Sabba, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
علمي من الرحمن ذي الآلاء بالله حزت الفضل لا بدهائي كيف الوصول إلى مدارج شكره نثني عليه وليس حول ثنائي